guys, it's me Jess and I'm back again with another video. Thank you so much for stopping by if you are one of my regulars that have been following me for a while. And if you're new, welcome. I just wanted to talk about a topic that I've been seeing people say a lot about keto. And before we even get into all of that, I'm actually right now on my way to a wellness spa. I'm gonna do a hydrotherapy colonic. If you guys don't know about that, that's basically a detox where you go to the spa and you lay in a bed and they put a tube up there and they detox your system. So I used to do it a lot. And I'm gonna explain to you why I do it. I haven't done one in a while, and it's not something that I have intentions of doing a lot. Let me see if I can get the camera to be a little bit more. It's not something that I have intentions of doing a lot. I used to do it a lot because on the vegetarian diet, I was always bloated, always backed up. Just from a lot of the foods that I was eating. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have had much better digestion on a ketogenic diet, much better. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling that great right now. And I was talking to Gemini about it, and she was saying sometimes if you have too much of a high fat content, sometimes it can mess with your digestion. Also, if you are having, that's why we gotta be careful with keto treats, because I was having some keto ice cream this week, and she said sometimes that can play a part. That a lot of people have complained about having digestive issues after having too much of the keto ice cream, because some of those sugar alcohols can cause digestive issues, and I think that that's what I'm experiencing right now. So really, I feel like I really need to just focus on whole ketogenic foods, just meat, fruits and vegetables, and I am gonna watch my fat. And honestly, I'm not gonna concern myself too much about having a certain amount of grams, even though I do count my macros, especially the carbs, but I'm not really going to focus too much on making sure, I need to have this percent of fat or these amount of grams of fat. I feel like as long as I'm eating a certain amount of fatty meat, I'm not going to get too caught in counting that, because some people say, 70% of your day should be, fat content. You should have 80 grams of fat, 100 grams, 150 grams of fat. I'm not going to get into all of that. As long as I'm staying under 50 grams of carbs a day, that's what I'm mostly focused on. And I like to make sure I'm having over 100 grams of protein a day, which is really not hard for me. That's the reason why I will no longer be buying any protein supplements like protein bars, which really are just a carbohydrate bar. And I will no longer be buying, let me make sure I'm focusing on the road, you guys, because the part of town I'm in has a lot of dips. Yeah, and I'm no longer getting protein powders. Like I used to always get the Orgain protein powder, and it is good, but it is a little bit too pricey, and I really don't need it. And I have ways of making smooth protein smoothies that you don't have to use any protein powder at all. Sometimes you don't always want that protein powder taste. That's number one. Protein powder, the Orgain tastes okay, but you don't always need to. You might not always want that. If you want to make a smoothie in the morning and you wanted to have a good amount of protein, you could actually just do, you could put Greek yogurt in your smoothie. Greek yogurt will give you, like, if you do a cup of Greek yogurt, or not even, you could do like 3/4 cup, and that'll give you about 16 grams right there. So that's something I do. I put Greek yogurt, and then I have PB2 Fit powder. PB2 Fit powder is really good. 2 tablespoons of PB2 Fit is only 60 calories, and it's 8 grams of protein. And PB2 Fit tastes really good. So you can make a smoothie. By the time you do the 16, that's like 22 grams of protein just for your smoothie. And then you might get a little bit of protein from your spinach and, your berries or whatever. But, to me, that's a really good way. If you have a smoothie with over 20 grams, that's really not bad. And you could still, have some scrambled eggs. But what I am noticing now, I think another reason why my digestion's a little off the past couple of days, it's normally good, but I have noticed lately I haven't really been eating that much fruits and vegetables. It kind of comes and goes, but I need to make sure that I'm eating a good amount of fruits and vegetables, because sometimes we're eating way too much meat and not too much meat, too much eggs. And everybody's body is different. But I am noticing that, and even Gemini was saying it too. If you're having way too much fruits, what am I saying? Way too much meat and eggs and dairy, and you're cutting your fruits and vegetables down too much, then you can start to experience some digestive issues. And even though I love Dr. Ken Berry and he has helped me a lot, I know he's totally against smoothies and juices and stuff like that. He doesn't really eat much. He barely eats fruits and vegetables from what he said, because he's carnivore. He said he might eat a fruit once a year. But I feel like including more fruits and vegetables in my diet is what is going to work for me. And I want to have optimum digestive health, even though I drink a lot of water. And I've actually been drinking more water lately. But yeah, I definitely, because I need to make sure I'm including more fruits and vegetables. That's just what I need to do. So I definitely will be going back to eating more salads, more broccoli, more berries. And I'm going to get back to making smoothies in the morning. Keto-friendly smoothies like avocados, spinach, berries, some almond milk. And honestly, if you do berries with those PB2 fit powder, it is very delicious. And throw some Greek yogurt in there, and that's it, But that's what is going to work for me, okay? I might even put my Oikos. Oh, that's actually a good idea, because I have these Oikos Greek yogurt cups that I have not really been eating. I used to like eating them a lot when I was doing high protein, but I don't want to waste them. So I think I'm going to be doing that this week, making smoothies and throwing that Oikos Greek yogurt in there. It's like 90 calories, which isn't bad, and it's 15 grams of protein. So it's 0 sugar. So yeah, I'm probably going to do that this week. So yeah, so that's basically it. And I'm not gonna lie, even I think in the future, once I reach my weight loss goal, I think I might, and this is just up in the air, I'm not sure, but I might start leaning more to low carb, but that I'm really not sure yet. Still not having the monster carbs. I have no desire for rice, pasta, bread, or potatoes, but I don't know, I feel like I might want to have more options of fruit later on down the line. I'm still going to not eat the carbs I've been, but I feel like I might want to maybe be able to include more grapes and mangoes and pineapples, but it's just a thought, we shall see. But anyway, what I did want to talk about today is real quickly, because I've been seeing a lot of people talk about how keto is so expensive, and I just wanted to kind of touch on that. And just for those of you who don't know, a ketogenic diet is a high fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate diet. You keep your carbs under 50 grams a day, okay? Most people will say 20 to 50 grams a day, because everything has a certain amount of carbs to it, has a little bit of carbs to a certain extent. I think meat is the only thing that's purely 0 carb, but yeah, so I prefer to be on the higher end of the carb spectrum. I've seen some people that they stick to under 20 grams. But see, this is my whole thing. If you're eating under 20 grams of carbs a day, that means that you're probably eating very little vegetable. And I've seen where I can just eat chicken. I'll just eat chicken and maybe a burger patty or chicken and fish or something like that, and really barely eat any vegetables. And yeah, I'll end up losing a lot of weight, but then I feel like my digestion don't really be what I want it to be. So I'm going to really be sticking to my eating more vegetables. As a matter of fact, once I finish my appointment, Sam's Club is right across the street. I'll be going to Sam's Club. I'm going to stock up on a few more berries. I'm getting a container of spinach. I need more eggs. But yeah, I'm going to get a few more veggies and start including that. But anyways, my whole take on, is keto expensive? No, not in my opinion. And here's the thing. If you notice, anytime a diet is popular, that's one of the first things people try to say, oh, it's so expensive. People said the vegan diet was expensive, which it really wasn't, because if you're not, it's all about you're eliminating something out of your grocery list. And I feel like a lot of meats are cheap, with the exception of some red meats. But even with the vegan diet, if you're eating here's the thing, regardless of what your diet is, even if because really vegan and carnivore are extreme diets. It's an elimination diet, and keto to me is a nice little happy balance. But regardless of what, if you're sticking to whole foods, even if you are a vegan, a vegetarian and you stick into whole foods, just fruits and vegetables and grains and beans or whatever, it will be cheap. Because when I was vegan and I wasn't buying no packaged food, I wasn't buying vegan Cheetos, little chickies, and I wasn't buying granola bars and all this extra stuff. When I was just sticking to the fruits and vegetables, beans and grains or whatever, those things were very cheap. Fruits and vegetables, if you go to the farmer's market, those fruits and vegetables were very cheap. You could get beans for $1, sometimes two for $1, whatever the case may be. You can get brown rice from the Dollar Tree. So actually, it can be very inexpensive. And I feel the same way about a ketogenic diet. So I just feel like when people say these things, they're just pretty much talking out their ass and just trying to discourage people from going along with their journey because maybe it didn't work for them and they just want to find something negative to say. But no, I don't think the ketogenic diet is expensive at all, because the way I look at it is, look at how many things that you're not purchasing. I personally have seen my grocery list go down drastically since eating on the ketogenic diet, because there's so many things I'm no longer buying. And let's just be honest, a lot of those processed foods are expensive. And they add up because you're buying so many of them. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there some ketogenic items, things that are keto friendly, that can be a little pricey? Like, for instance, you might buy a 5-pound bag of white flour for like $3.99 or something like that. And it could last you a good while. Well, depending on what you're using it for. I went to Aldi's and they had the almond flour, which was pretty much technically a sale. It was a reduced price for $5.19. And of course, if you ever seen a bag of almond flour, it really isn't that big. It was like maybe a 16-ounce bag. It wasn't really that big at all. I can't remember how big it was, but I think it was like 16 ounces, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But anyway, it was like $5.19. And guess what? Even though it was $5, but when you're baking, you don't need to use that much almond flour. That's one of the cool things, because the way it absorbs liquid. Like, what did I make the other day? I made these, yesterday, guys. I made these, they were so damn delicious. I made these keto egg, sausage, and cheese muffins. And it asked for like 6 extra large eggs. And, there was sausage, cheese, all that good stuff, and some seasoning. And it needed flour, and they were so delicious. Even my boyfriend, who's not ketogenic, loved it. He actually asked for more. But and I should have given him some today when he left. But anyways, the muffins asked for a 1/4 cup of coconut flour and 3/4 cup of almond flour. You know what I'm saying? So even though it's a little bit pricey, but the recipes that you're going to use don't really ask for that much. And I don't really bake a lot like I used to. Like, when I was vegetarian, I baked every Sunday. I made a banana bread every Sunday. Some kind of fruity bread, whether it's banana bread or blueberry bread. I used to love making blueberry bread, zucchini bread. I really don't make that anymore. Now that I'm thinking, I actually could still make zucchini bread. I might look up a recipe for a keto-friendly zucchini bread using almond flour and coconut flour. And actually, I found coconut flour cheap. You can get coconut flour, Jan's coconut flour, at where is it? At Ross. They're always $2.99. And I think Lidl sells coconut flour really cheap too, because I have a bag of coconut flour that I got from Lidl. But no, I don't think it's expensive at all, because like I say, I've been spending less. And there's so many things that are not on my grocery list. All those processed foods, all those packaged foods that I thought I needed are no longer on my list. Every time I go to the grocery store, all I need is eggs. And eggs prices, eggs was expensive, but egg prices are starting to go down. Because I'm going to Sam's Club like after my appointment, and they got the 24 count of cage-free, the white cage-free eggs for like $5 and change. Now, if you want the 24 count of organic ones, those are $7 and change. But honestly, I think the white cage free are just as good, and I just want to spend a little bit less. But yeah, I can get the 24 count of cage free eggs for $5 and change, right? And I would eat more red meat, but that's the only thing I would say. Red meat is a little pricey. If I go to Sam's Club right now, the 2 organic ribeye, grass-fed ribeye for just 2 steaks is like $18, which is actually cheap compared to other places. Now, I did see them on at Aldi's sell them for $14 and change, so I might get those. But yeah, that is, I will say, spending $18 for just 2 pieces of meat, that's just one dinner. And I know me and my son can, when I first started making ribeye, I would cut one in half and me and him would split it. But he could eat his own ribeye steak. I can eat my own ribeye steak. So that is a lot for just one meal. But if you're focusing on other meats like chicken, fish, pork, it can actually be, and ground beef, it can be very inexpensive. Like, I go to Kroger and I get that big pack of chicken legs for like $5. Okay, and if you guys know, you know. I can get the pack of chicken breasts. Kroger sells their pack of chicken breasts and chicken legs for $5. Okay, and forget Sam's Club. Okay, you can get a pack of chicken legs for like $5-6, and you're gonna get a lot. Okay, you can get chicken thighs, a huge pack of chicken thighs for like $8-9. If that, you know, $7-8. When I go to Aldi, and you gotta know where to shop too. Like, when I go to Aldi's, I can get the long family pack of salmon fillet. I just made one last night, and I'm gonna get 8 servings of that. And depending on how much it weighs, you might pay anywhere from $15 to $20, you know, but you're still getting 8 pieces of salmon. But like I said, look at all the other things that are not on your grocery list, even if you do spend a little bit more. Ground beef, I mean, you can get the cheapest ground beef you want. I do like to get the organic ground beef from Sam's Club. I get 3 packs for like $18, which I think is pretty good. And you can get organic ground beef at Aldi's for like $5, I think. So, like I say, and then broccoli, I get the 2-pound bag of broccoli from Sam's Club for $3.48. I get the 6-pack of romaine lettuce, $4.78. So they actually do have really, really, really good deals. So I feel like if you know where to shop, you can get fruits and vegetables, the fruits and vegetables that you need, very cheap. And right now, because berries are in season, they're very inexpensive. I mean, Sam's Club right now got the big container of blueberries for like $4 and change. They got strawberries. The last time I went to strawberries, like $4 for a 2-pound container. Berries are always on sale. And if you don't want to do that, you can always get frozen berries from Sam's Club, which I think is a cheaper way. Get frozen berries and then just make smoothies out of them, or wait for them to defrost, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, for the most part, I feel like my grocery bill has gone down drastically. I'm not buying cereal. Cereal is expensive now. I mean, cereal is going for like $6-7 for just a regular box. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, all things that we don't need, all things that are full of sugar, full of carbs, not doing us any good. I can't believe all those years I spent so much money buying all these organic cereals, Cascadian Farms, Kashi, thinking I'm doing something. All it was a bunch of carbs and sugar. And was it satisfying my hunger? No. It really ended up just being a treat. But they're delicious. I mean, we know that. So if I had a bowl of Kashi cereal, guess what? I'm going to want another one. So I'm thinking I'm doing something good. And a lot of us get thrown off by that word, organic. You know, oh, it's organic, it's this, it's that. I need to probably drink the rest of this water. That's one thing. If you want to do a colonic, you gotta make sure that you're hydrated. So I already drank 40-ounce cup this morning, but I wanted to drink another one before I got there. But like I said, I'm not buying granola bars. I'm not buying hummus. I'm not buying any type of chips, pretzels, bread. I used to love sourdough bread. I don't need that anymore. I don't have to buy that. And I do a lot of smart shopping in Sam's Club. That actually helps out a lot. If you're doing keto, you can save a lot of money. You can basically get everything you need from Sam's Club or whatever, you know, warehouse that you have that sells food in bulk, whether it's Costco's or BJ's or whatever. But yeah, there's so many things that are no longer on my list. So no, keto is not expensive. Yeah, there might be. Now, yes, if you're trying to buy a lot of processed packaged ketogenic snacks, then yeah, that definitely could get expensive. Like if you try to get a bunch of Quest bars and wild protein chips and keto baked goods, keto cake mixes and brownie mixes, those are expensive. Like Duncan Hines, a regular Duncan Hines cake mix might be maybe $2, $2 or $3, $2 and change. But the keto version is like $6.92. One time I was lucky, Publix had to buy one get one free. But now I have no intention of buying any more because I'm like, you know what? You have almond flour, you have coconut flour, you have allulose. Make your own. So I have like one more box of yellow keto cake mix by Duncan Hines, but I don't care if it's on sale or not. I have no intentions of buying any more because I have everything I need to make. And Gemini gave me an amazing recipe for a keto coconut cake that I made like a couple of weeks ago, and it was better than any cake mix that you could have bought. And all it was coconut flour, unsweetened grated coconut, and allulose. And I got allulose. I got a bag of allulose off of Amazon. Yes, is allulose more expensive than regular sugar? Yes, but number one, I don't bake that much, so that bag is gonna last me a while. And you don't have to use as much. Like the recipe I did, I used only a 3/4 cup of the allulose, and allulose is actually 70%. It's only 70% as sweet as regular sugar, and I was fine. And let's be honest, a lot of the baked recipes that we find online that ask for sugar, a lot of them they ask for way too much. I've seen cake recipes online where they ask you for like 2 cups of sugar. I remember there was a cake I used to love making when I was a vegan. It was like this vegan pound cake I used to make all the time. Of course, dairy free and all that. And the original recipe asked for like 2 cups of white sugar, and I was using like 1 cup of natural cane sugar, and the cake still tasted really good. So a lot of times, I've seen banana bread recipes where they're asking for 2 cups of sugar, and I'm just like, but bananas are already sweet. When I was making banana bread, I would do like a half a cup of coconut sugar, organic coconut sugar, and it was still fine. So you really, people just love to add a lot of extra sugar that really is not needed. But no, like I said, for me personally, I used to spend a lot of money on groceries, and I noticed that my grocery bill has cut down drastically. And what can also help you to keep your grocery list, cut your grocery list down, not just knowing where to shop. Yeah, you want to stick to places like Aldi, Sam's Club, Publix when they do buy one get one free deals. Lidl's is really cheap too. But also you need to get everybody in your family on board, because if you're buying your ketogenic items but you're still buying a lot of junk and crap for your kids, like, oh, my kids still need chips, my kids need Pop-Tarts, toaster strudels, Hot Pockets, and all that. No, your grocery list is never going to go down. Look at all that junk you're buying that's expensive. That's what's making y'all grocery list stay up. If you get everybody on board and say, no, guys, because really, here's the thing. If it's not good for you, it's not good for them. Because it really doesn't make sense for you to, it's kind of hypocritical for us to be like, okay, I'm not going to eat all this processed junk from the SAD diet, the standard American diet. I'm not going to eat any more Pop-Tarts. I'm not going to eat any more cakes and sweets and donuts and chips and Cheetos and all that old stuff. But then you give it to your kids to eat. That doesn't make any sense. If it's not good for you, it's not good for them. If you know you shouldn't be eating any candy, then they don't eat any candy. And like I said, my mom used to always say there's no bad bread in the land of famine. So they're going to eat what's available. Trust me, they're not going to starve. Even if they act like, oh, I don't want this, they're going to eat what's available. If you tell your kids, look, we have an eggs and bacon for breakfast, or I made these little breakfast muffins with some strawberries on the side, they're going to be hungry and they're going to eat. That's it. They're not going to starve themselves out. Because all we're doing is wasting our money on a lot of processed foods for our kids. Like I said, keeping the grocery bill high, and they don't need it. There's no nutritional value in Pop-Tarts and Hot Pockets and frozen nuggets. Those are full of carbs because of the coating that they're, you could make your kids your own nuggets. I saw this girl on TikTok get chicken breast and seasoning and put it in her blender and shape them and put them in the oven and made her own version of nuggets. And it didn't take long, and she ended up getting a good amount of them. So you can put them in the freezer. You got to get creative. Sometimes it's worth it to take one day and be like, I'm gonna meal prep some keto-friendly nuggets for my kids. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, and I'm telling you, a lot the way I'm feeling right now, I would never go back. Like, just for the simple fact that I'm not snacking is already a win. But I'm making making stuff in a keto-friendly way, and I'm not missing the old versions. A lot of time we be buying this stuff thinking we need it and we don't. Like, for instance, me and my boyfriend was together all day today, and I asked him if he wanted me to make breakfast. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, what you want me to make you? He's like, oh, whatever you want to make. He never really makes a special request because he's going to eat whatever I give him most times. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't made you salmon patties in a while because he loves salmon croquettes, and I haven't made for him in a long time. When we first started dating, I used to make him salmon patties all the time for breakfast. So I'm like, you know what? I'll make you salmon patties. And I had a little bit of these organic grits I had from before. So, of course, I didn't want it, but I did say, you know what, I'm going to make you some grits. I do have a little bit, because I did my keto clean out, but I did keep a few things, whatever was left over, only a few things for my boyfriend. So I'm like, you know, I got a little bit of grits left. I can make you that, because he's not keto. So he's like, okay, cool. And I made the salmon patties, you guys, and it was so freaking delicious and carb free. Because my old recipe, because I have all my recipes that I come up with saved in my fitness pal, and my old recipe had a bunch of panko breadcrumbs and cornmeal. So this time I left that out. I just opened the can of salmon. I used mustard. I didn't use mayo. You could use mayo if you want to, but I used some spicy brown mustard. I used spicy brown mustard, black pepper, onion and garlic powder, some Old Bay, dill, parsley. Those are the seasonings I use. I had some orange pepper seasoning. And as a binder, guess what I use? Almond flour. I use a 1/4 cup of almond flour, and it worked out perfectly. And of course, I sauteed a little bit of red onion and some yellow bell peppers and put it in there. I'm used to like coating the salmon patties in cornmeal. I didn't do that. Now he wanted his coated in cornmeal, so I did 3 patties for him coated in cornmeal. But mine, once I shaped them, I just put them in the avocado oil, because I fried them in avocado oil. And when I tell you, these salmon patties came out so delicious. Keto friendly, no carbs. I got the recipe from Gemini. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, a lot of things that we thought we needed, we really don't at all. You get what I'm saying? And I think the patties, even if I didn't use a flour at all, it probably would have still came out good. The only thing that the flour, putting the almond flour, you do want, it kind of helps it to stay together so it doesn't break apart. But yeah, it didn't have to be coated in cornmeal, all that. It was still really, really good, you know. I love fried green tomatoes. I'm going to see if I can come up with I think I'm going to try to make a keto-friendly fried green tomato, because I love that. Fried green tomatoes are so amazing. That was one of my favorite things to eat. And I used to, of course, coat it in cornmeal and flour. But I'm going to try making it, of course, dipping it in the egg. But I'm going to try dipping it in some almond flour, coconut flour. We'll see how it goes to see if it sticks. But yeah, it might be good, you know, or maybe not doing any flour. Maybe I might just season it and fry it and see how it tastes. You just never know. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for you guys right now. Please don't listen to people saying it's expensive. It really isn't, because when you're focusing on just the perimeter of the store, the fruits and the veggies, you're going to be surprised of how your grocery bill is going to go down. You won't really be spending a lot of money. You got to know where to shop. And like I said, you'll also notice, like I said, that that processed food is really what's draining your bank account, you know. And then because we eat in a particular way, you're not going to go out to eat as much. I don't go out to eat at all. For us, takeout is the Publix or Kroger deli. That's about as good as it gets. Like, if I want to eat out, if I'm lazy and for some reason don't feel like cooking anything, going to Publix or Kroger and getting the rotisserie chicken at the deli, that's about as good as it gets when it comes to getting takeout. And I'm dead ass for real. Like, I got some wings for $9 and change from Publix the other day, from the Publix deli. That was as good as it got. You know, that's takeout for me. So, but anyway, guys, I just got to my appointment. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it. And I will talk to you later. Bye.